For 40 years, my wife suffered from bipolar condition, then finally dementia and ovarian cancer. She recognized the problem and endured more anguish than anyone can imagine. She coped because of her faith. The following was her favorite prayer by Cardinal Henry Newman, a convert from Anglicanism. It shows the spiritual attitude she had. I will trust him, wherever I am. I can never be thrown away. If I am in sickness, my sickness may serve him. In perplexity, my perplexity may serve him. If I am in sorrow, my sorrow may serve him. My sickness or perplexity or sorrow may be necessary causes of some great end, which is quite beyond us. He does nothing in vain. This is not to suggest that I didn't still have an obligation to help her, nor that she was alone. Everyone here today has experienced, or their loved ones have experienced, hardship, suffering, or rejection. In today's first reading, Ezekiel, considered the father of Judaism, is called to go, quote, to the Israelites, rebels who have rebelled against me. They and their ancestors have revolted against me to this very day. Hard of face and obstinate of heart are they to whom I am sending you. God is telling Ezekiel he can expect rejection. In today's second reading, Paul speaks. He is a convert who previously, as Saul, killed Christians and never met Jesus in person. He suffered from a painful limp. He says things very similar to the convert Cardinal Newman's prayer. Quote, a thorn in the flesh was given to me, an angel of Satan to beat me, to keep me from being too elated. 3 times I begged the Lord about this, that it might leave me, but he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for power is made perfect in weakness. I will rather boast most gladly of my weaknesses. Today's gospel speaks of Jesus' own rejection, quote, and they took offense at him. Jesus said to them, a prophet is not without honor, except in his native place and among his own kin and in his own house. This is part of our human condition, commonly known as the Nazareth Syndrome, even though he was trying to help people. None of us welcome suffering or rejection, but it seems to be part of life. In fact, some would argue that it is necessary for many to surrender control and turn control over to God. Jesus is certainly our shining example of overcoming suffering and rejection. The truth is, we don't know God's plan for us. A woman who had a near-death experience reported that she was shown how everyone is given a choice before they are born to accept the life God has planned for them or not. For some, the suffering they endure is for the benefit of others. Faced with such a request from God himself, refusal is almost impossible. Then, when we are born, the memories of our commitment are wiped clear, and we live the life God has chosen for us. Now, this is not Catholic teaching, nor does it contradict Catholic teaching, since it is not predestination, nor do we lose free will. It is only meant to demonstrate that we really don't know God's plan for us, but we do know he loves us and will always be there for us. His love will be sufficient for us. What is God's plan for us? Was my wife suffering partly for the benefit of my spiritual growth? Is your suffering for someone else's benefit? Is the suffering of others meant to guide us to love others? The clear message in today's readings is that although God is with us when we suffer, we are obligated to help others who suffer rejection in their own lands. That includes considering immigrants rejected by their home countries. No culture has survived at or below 1.9 fertility rate. That is the number of babies born per woman. The U.S. is lower than 1.9, but with immigration can survive. The U.S. needs immigrants. We just celebrated our great nation this past 4th of July. The U.S. is the greatest sovereign nation on earth, a land of immigrants, That is why immigrants flock here, particularly those like Jesus who suffered rejection in his own land. I, like many of you, have traveled extensively, and we have seen their homeland rejection firsthand. Both political parties agree that our immigration laws are broken. Should we be encouraging our legislative representatives to put politics aside and come together to fix the existing immigration laws?